Hey, podcast family. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you're all having an amazing weekend. If you're listening to this on a Sunday, and if you're not, then I hope you all are starting your week off in a positive mood and attitude. Because today I'm going to get straight into the context and the value in this episode. Once again, I don't have a guest this week, so I do apologize, but I am working on getting some amazing guests for you all to learn from their 5 life lessons. However, the last 2 episodes have actually done really well, and you guys are actually enjoying the content that I share through my own journey and experiences that I've had so far. So I really want to just basically pour more value and inspiration and motivation into your life from the things that I have gone through, because obviously I don't like to speak about topics and things that I don't know much about, but I'm super confident in speaking about the things that I know, that I've gone through, been through, done that, wore the t-shirt, all of that kind of good stuff. So I want to get straight into the context of what I'm going to be sharing about in this episode this week, because a lot of you guys from my DMs and comment sections and when I go live have actually told me that these are the two things basically you all are struggling with a lot. The first thing is the confidence, so how to overcome your shyness, because a lot of you guys are shy. And the second thing I found through my content that I want to be of service and add more value to you all is actually prioritizing your time. Believe it or not, so many of you guys reach out to me and say, "Hey, Sadiq, how do you do so much? How do you prioritize your time? You work full time, you're running a coaching business, you're a content creator, you make videos on TikTok 3 times a day and Instagram Reels, and putting out content on every single platform, YouTube and everywhere. How do you manage your time?" So that's one thing, and the other one is overcoming shyness. So I want to really, in this episode, focus on giving you value on these two things. So I want to start off by sharing with you again a little bit of my background and my journey, because how did someone like me over 6 years ago, who was super shy, couldn't speak to women, played Call of Duty, went to work, came back home, ate, slept and repeated the same thing every day, become this confident? Have a podcast, speak to people every day, build new relationships, have new friends that I create from online, from the relationships that I build with people. How do I do it? And then I want to share with you from that, kind of intertwine that into how I manage my time as well, because it all to be honest goes together, and it comes under one umbrella, I guess, called discipline. Because once you realize, or once you've convinced yourself that you need to be disciplined in order to get results in your life or in order to progress, that's how you're gonna move forward in life. Because let's be real, so many of you guys are kind of lazy, and I'm just gonna say it because I think if no one else is telling you, I, as your online coach, is going to be telling you right now that a lot of you guys are actually lazy. You have a lot of spare time that you are wasting, and you don't think you're wasting it, because it could be like watching Netflix, and that's your self-care time. No judgment. That could be like your sitting down session in the park. No judgment. Like, if that's your self-care routine, amazing. It could be you playing Call of Duty like how I used to, or playing Fortnite, or playing Roblox. No judgment. I just want to make you realize that those things that you're doing, are they genuinely hand on heart? Are they actually helping you progress? Are they helping you mentally or physically in a positive way to progress in your life, to get closer to your goals, to your dreams? Because if they're not, then I'm sorry to break it to you, but me being the coach I am, very straightforward and want you to get results fast in your life, you're wasting your time. And because I tell you why, I realized that and I'm telling you, I was so addicted to my PlayStation at the time, over 6 years ago, where I was playing Call of Duty every single day. And I mean that, like, I was playing day in, every hour I had in my day that was free, I was playing. I was on that console. I had to kick my brother off at sometimes, like, "Hey, get off, I want to play, it's my turn." Like, that's how, like, honestly, I was so addictive. And addiction cannot go away unless you kill it with discipline. Okay. How do you get more discipline? Well, you simply make a decision in your mind. It's actually as simple as that. But a lot of you guys overthink things. A lot of you guys overcomplicate it. And as you know, I like to keep things simple in my life. I made one shift. I just told myself that, "Sadiq, is you playing Call of Duty going to help you progress and move forward towards your dreams, or these life goals, or this mindset mission that you're on? Is it going to help if you're playing Call of Duty every day?" Not at all. Maybe the only way it would have helped is if you've worked super hard and at the end of the week you deserve to have an hour or two to play on that, to just release some stress and release some negative thoughts from your mind, maybe, if that's your escape, you know. But other than that, I don't see any kind of a positive outlet to you playing Call of Duty. I mean, I'm just giving that as example. You can put that into Netflix. You can put that into a hobby that you're doing that doesn't really, like, you know, make sense. You know, that doesn't really help you progress unless, as I said, it's your way of escaping from the world. No judgment in that case, because we all have our own self-care routines. We all have our own way of dealing with stress and anxiety and just, you know, problems and challenges of life. So I'm not judging anybody. I just want to make it clear that I'm just teaching you all about discipline. To get more disciplined, you got to make fast decisions in your life, and you got to be serious, and you got to hold yourself accountable to that decision. Because you can't say, like, if I said over 6 years ago, Sadiq, I'm going to stop playing Call of Duty today, and I just stopped for 1 week, and then the week after that I was like, oh, I can't do this, and I carried on doing it. That's you having a weak mindset. That's you in a position where you haven't yet mentally become tough. And mental toughness is another whole topic. But I just want to help you stay with me. You know, I want you to get more disciplined by really making a mind shift in your head and just realizing that if you stop your bad habits from today, after listening to this episode, if you stop all the bad habits that you have, and I'm not saying click, like just stop them all randomly, straight up, you know, like, no, I'm saying slowly cut them down. A lot of people are different to me. If you're my personality type, if you're someone that just loves to take action fast, then I highly recommend you can just make a mind shift like I did. Because I honestly speaking, I did make a mind shift one day, one moment, bang. And I never, ever till today, I've never touched a console, a remote control, a PlayStation, or Xbox, nothing. I've never touched any kind of games ever again since the day I stopped, because I was just on another mission. I was on another level. I was so seriously wanted to shift my place and become confident and change my life and help others, that I just started just shifting everything in my life. I became more disciplined. That's the first thing. Now let's go under the umbrella and figure out the prioritizing our time and then the overcoming the shyness. So how did I overcome my shyness? As a lot of you guys know, and I'm going to keep repeating myself until some of you guys actually get it and you take action on this, I think it's important, like personal development, personal growth. Like if you are not pumping this personal growth, wisdom, and knowledge into your head, if you're not learning from Gary Vee, from Jay Shetty, from Tom Bilyeu, from David Meltzer, from Les Brown, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, these are the names that are just coming into my head from the top of my head. Bob Proctor. These people are so wise, and they have so much experience in life, that if you're not learning from what they've already gone through, which you are struggling with right now, then how are you ever going to grow? How are you ever going to become a better person? So you got to focus your efforts and your time on really learning every single day something new. That's the first thing. Okay, that's personal growth, self-development. You can call it whatever you like. There's so many fancy names for it. It's basically you helping yourself grow into a higher level of thinking, into a more positive, mindful, and let's say more inner peace type of personality. Because really, all you're doing when you're growing in your growth mindset journey, all you're doing is finding more inner peace. You're learning to live more mindfully. You're learning to focus more. You're learning to cut out the distractions. You're learning to get rid of negative people. You're learning to remove negativity and negative energy. That's all we're doing. So the first thing that we all have to be working on is our personal growth in some way. And again, whether you read books, whether you listen to audiobooks, whether you watch videos on this topic, whether you, I don't know, like how draw through art, through some kind of creativity, like I'm not joking. You just need to figure out the way that you like to learn and learn it in that context. I'm a visual learner, so I love watching videos. So at the beginning of my journey, I read some of the most important books, I believe, in personal development, things like Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon. These are just a few that are just coming from the top of my head, but there's many more out there. And yeah, like you got to start from however you can. I do recommend you start maybe reading books like how I did, because it did actually help me in a way of improving my reading skills. It did actually help me like kind of focus more. my like attention on reading that book and really taking it in. I mean, I have to read something more than once to really get it. But some sections where they were like in bold, again being visual, I really like took more. Like it convinced me even more, and it worked. I guess it kind of worked on me faster. But again, I'm a visual learner, so I'd rather watch a video like this on YouTube than learn in another way, because I just learn from seeing people and like how they move, their actions, their hand gestures like this, like how passionate they are and stuff like that. So I really like to feel them and see them visually. That's just me. You figure out what you like to do and do it that way. I know a lot of you guys like to read read till the cows come home, just read. However, I don't want you to read and then do nothing. Okay, so here's the key: personal development. But then you already know what I'm going to say next, right? You learn, you invest in yourself, you learn something new, and then you teach others, obviously, and then you take action. When you're teaching others, before you teach others, you take action. I'm going to add that extra T there. So a mentor of mine once taught me that concept of IoT: invest in yourself every single day, learn something new every single day. I'm going to add over here, after you learn something new, take action on what you've learned every single day, or slowly, step by step. And the fourth one was teach others. So go and spread that wisdom through videos, through a blog, through a website, through YouTube videos, through TikTok. Spread that wisdom and that knowledge that you're learning, because what is the point of having so much knowledge in your mind and so many ideas and so much creativity in here and then do nothing with it? That's when I've started making videos in my journey, where after a year of like learning and reading these books, I was like, what the hell are you doing, Sadiq? You are not sharing anything. You are not even posting anything about it. Like, why are you learning and you've become so confident in 1 year and you haven't shared a single thing? So that's really important to understand. Let's move on to prioritizing my time. How did I prioritize my time? Again, another mentor of mine taught me how to become a student of my calendar. So what I did was he told me to take out my calendar, Monday to Sunday, those 7 days that we all have in a week, the 24 hours that we all have in a day. He taught me very strategically and very, kind of scrutinized it and said, look, Sadiq, I want you to really focus your attention right now, looking at your calendar Monday to Sunday. Be honest with yourself. What exactly do you do on a daily basis, from waking up and brushing your teeth to every single thing that you do in your day or in your week? So I looked into my life. I wake up this time, if I'm going to work, this time every single day. Shower, go to work, finish my work day, come back home, and then my free time kind of starts from there. So he made me write down my work hours. He made me write down what time I eat, what time I go to sleep. And in between that, all the hours that I had free, he said, this is the time you focus 100% of your energy and your efforts on working towards your dreams. And he said, if you don't, then you are wasting that time, because we all have 24 hours in a day. That's like the same thing that we all have. Nobody has any more, nobody has less. Yet there's so much, there's so less, successful people in the world, and there's so many, not successful people in the world, or let's say not happy people in the world, or not people that are not achieving their dreams in the world, because they have been taught by society and the system around them that you have to go to school, get a good education, get super good grades, get an amazing job, work your socks off for that company that doesn't give a crap about you, and then basically die broke. Because let's be honest, the pension schemes, the funding that you're going to get from the government, if there's any other things that you think you're going to get for free, healthcare and stuff, it's going to not be enough for you to live the life of your dreams. Let's put it that way. It's not. Because the one thing one of my mentors once taught me that I think is going to help a lot of you right now, he said, Sadiq, when you work for a company, you work for them, you don't work with them. He said, they will always own your time. The reason why the owner of a company is or has more time than you on top of the 24 hours is because, like an example that he shared with me with McDonald's, he said, imagine 10 McDonald's. Imagine you owned 10 McDonald's, and in each 10 McDonald's, you had 10 people working there for you. And in each 10 of those McDonald's, those 10 people were giving you 10 hours a day. Think about it. 10 times 10 times 10. That's 1,000 hours on top of your 24 hours. So he taught me this concept called leverage. And he said, leverage is what we all need, or what successful people have in their life, that creates more time for them. which is why they're more successful, which is why they can focus more of their attention and time towards their dreams. He said, Sadiq, you're never going to have leverage if you never focus on building a team, helping people, being of service, building a brand. Like if you're never focusing on building something for yourself one day, then you're never going to have leverage, because you're always going to be working for someone else that's always going to be using your time as productivity for their company to grow, and you don't get nothing but maybe like a $40 watch at the end of your retirement saying, thank you very much for your service, Sadiq. You may now retire and do whatever you like with your life, with the least, with the little bank account that you have. That kind of perspective really used to make me think. And but remember, guys, I was around 22 at the time. I'm going to say around 22, 23, 21, 22, 23, around from 21 to 23, I'm going to say. In between that time, being super young, like I learned that concept of leverage, and I was like, damn, like nobody in school or university, or obviously I didn't go university, but you know, in general, nobody in schools, colleges and university, even till today, teach you about leverage. And which is why I'm sharing this with you on the podcast, which is why I'm hustling on my dreams, which is why I'm working super hard on building my coaching business and building something for myself to be of service and give back in the world, doing something that I truly love, because I want to create that leverage. I want to one day have a team. I want to one day work with people on different projects and different other aspirations that I have. But I can't do that if I don't have more time, which is why I am starting to create more time. But the hustle starts now. You guys have seen the vlogs that I share on YouTube, or hopefully some of you guys have, and you're watching kind of the journey that I'm taking. The reason why I share that is because I want you to see the hard work and the hustle that goes behind the scenes, which is why it's called Sadiq's Vlog, behind the scenes of my journey. Because I want you to really look back every single week. Really, is for me to look back in a couple of years from now and say, wow, I documented this whole journey. Like I can look back and say, look, this week I did that, that week I did that, you see, and show people in the future that look how I started. I just documented everything on YouTube, and I've been sharing my journey in hopes to inspire you all to take some kind of action in your life, or get inspiration from the hard work that I put in towards my dreams. But anyways, that prioritizing your time, use your calendar to literally put down everything that you need to do. Some people like to use a to-do list. Some people have a journal. I honestly believe, because our phones are always with us, I honestly believe if you have your phone with you and you have a calendar app in there, which we all do, I promise you, unless you still have a brick phone, we all have a calendar in there. Maybe even those brick phones have a calendar in there. I think they should have, right? But put everything in your calendar and literally have little reminders in there. So when it is 5 o'clock or when it is 7 p.m. in the evening and it says a reminder on your phone, pops up a notification saying, Sadiq, it's time to work hard. Sadiq, it's time to work on your coaching business. Sadiq, it's time to take action on your podcast. Sadiq, it's time to record a podcast with this guest. Sadiq, it's time to record a vlog for the week on a Saturday, right? You see what I mean? Like I have everything in there, so I know what I need to do, which keeps me laser focused, which keeps me just progressing. Basically, I don't get much distracted, and if I do, because remember, guys, and the same point of me doing all of this, nothing changes in your life unless you put in the actions to create that change. It doesn't mean external things won't come into your life and stop you, because they will. Promise you, external things will come into your life and stop you from moving forward. Something may happen, an emergency in the family, someone has died, someone is in the hospital, someone is sick, someone that you care about is going through a tough time and they need you. Something external will, I say will, not can, I say will come into play in your life that you have no control over, which is why I always tell everybody, and myself especially, be grateful for what you have. Because the gratitude and the energy that you fuel yourself with is what's going to help you mentally get through those obstacles and challenges. So to kind of summarize this episode, I want to go back to telling you guys that if you want to become more confident in your life and overcome the shyness that many of you have right now, then start working on your personal growth, whether it's through listening to podcasts or ebooks, however it is that you want to do it, or watching those videos online, or following these people on social media and learning from their short form content. I mean, it doesn't matter how you do it. I just want you guys to constantly be pumping wisdom into your mind. I'm going to even stop saying positivity now, because some of you don't get it when I say that. I'm going to start saying wisdom and knowledge, because the people that I'm learning from are wise people with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. Because knowledge is only something when it's put into action and it's become experience, right? So And then the prioritizing the time that I want you guys to focus on is mainly on the calendar. And I promise you, if any of you are listening right now to this podcast or watching it on YouTube, if there's one thing that you take away from this whole episode, is I wish that you all take out the calendar from your phone and you start looking into your Monday to Sunday and everything that you have in between. So if you're a business owner, I want you to see what do you actually do from Monday to Sunday and put it all in your calendar. And then tell me if you don't have an extra half an hour, 1 hour actually in your day that you can be focusing on something that is really important to you. Or you know, those people that always say they don't have time because they're too busy, you may actually see some free time in your week, like on a Wednesday, I don't know, Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 7 p.m. You may see that you have a half an hour little time slot there that you don't do anything. That could be you going live on Instagram. That can be you making a TikTok video. That could be you sharing a little quote on Instagram to inspire someone on that day, right? It could be something like we have to utilize every moment that we have in the day, because as I said, we all have one life. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have 365 days in a year, and we all have to create more time one day. And to do that, we have to work on ourselves. We have to become more confident through the personal growth that I was talking about. You have to start prioritizing your time through the calendar that I was talking about. And when you combine that, all of that together, and every day take those steps. Remember, it's not going to happen overnight. But every day, if you take that step, you're going to get closer. I promise you, every day you take the step, you're going to get closer. And some people say, hey, Sadiq, but do we only take one step? No. You take one step every day, yes. But you don't stop after one step. You take the next step. So you don't have to just take one step every day. Some people get a bit confused at this. Let me just break it down really quick. You take one step every day, but it doesn't mean you only take one step. Sometimes I actually say in my content, I don't know if you guys really notice, but sometimes in my content, I do share about the one step and I say, take a minimum. I use the word minimum just so you guys can understand a little bit of my psychology. I actually use the word minimum. Go back on some of my, I don't know, some of my captions on Instagram and you'll read it. And he actually says, take a minimum of one step a day. It doesn't, I don't always say take one step every single day. That's right. You do take one step, but a minimum of one step. It doesn't mean you don't take a second step, a third step, a fourth step, a fifth step, depending on your character and your personality. Like I said, if you're like me, an action taker, hustler, you just want to, move quick, then you take more than one step a day. You take one, then the next one. You don't jump steps. You take one step, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. Just like climbing a ladder, you don't jump to the third step. You go to step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. But you don't take just only one step, because then you could also be wasting your time. You take one step, then the second, then the third, and so on. So I really hope something I shared in this episode this week has added value into your life. Once again, I never had a guest, so I really apologize for that. And I'm doing my best. I'm really, really just working super hard on trying to grow my coaching business, which is why I haven't had that much time to focus on new guests for the podcast. However, I do have 2 upcoming guests coming, and hopefully the coming week I will be working my ass off to build a new relationships and find a few more people to be recording podcasts with, so I can start bringing them on the show to get them to share their 5 life lessons with you all. But in the meantime, I really hope this episode has added value to someone listening, or someone watching me right now on YouTube. If it has, and you're watching me on YouTube, I really highly recommend that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or share this video with a friend, share this link with a friend that can that's maybe that's maybe struggling with overcoming shyness, and they are someone quite introverted, or someone that just sucks at prioritizing their time. You're like, hey, go and listen to Sadiq's episode on overcoming your shyness and prioritizing your time, because he shared some little pieces of nuggets in there that is going to really help you, overcome those barriers from your head and get you into that motion of action. So as always, I love you guys. I wish you an amazing week ahead. Let's go. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Now go believe in yourself. And I will catch you guys next week. Take care.